mic makes me feel like Erykah Badu. All right, so look, I'm sensitive about my shit for real, right, y'all? And before I get into it, I want to take a moment and not only breathe, but to dedicate this first episode to my aunt, who I'm wearing around my neck, Auntie Tony. Yeah, like right before she passed away, she called me and she said, I want to come in there and I want to work at that community center. I want to help people change their lives. I want to be like a life coach or something. And she's like, I'm going to call you right back. I want to come in. I'm for real, but I'm going to call you right back. And she never called me back. Right. But this ain't a sad episode. This ain't a sad episode at all. This is really just giving life to True, giving life to Alicia, giving life to me, giving life to my creations, to my gifts, because I think so often we forget who the fuck we are and we humble ourselves or put ourselves in these boxes. Like I was just recently talking to a friend and she was telling me about how by the time we turn 10, we lose our creativity. And then by the time we become a full adult, it's like gone. So we're literally just robots doing whatever the hell a job or whomever is telling us to do, right? And I just told myself that I wanted to change that narrative, not just for myself, but for my children as well. And so with that being said, most of you been rocking with me for a minute, right? And some of you are new and you just coming here to try to figure out what the hell she got to say, what she talking about. My name is True, and hello, my Truebies! It's been a long 6 years. Like, y'all been rocking with me for 6 years for real. Right, 6 years for real. Y'all been watching me grow. Y'all have watched me do lives from the Facebook closet in the projects, right? And so, like, I feel like we made it. Like, I'm sitting here with fucking Watts, which is amazing production, right? Amazing production. Like, he got the light shining on me, asked me, like, what type of angles I wanted, all type of stuff. And to me, like, it just speaks to the importance of investing in yourself, right? And I'm just like, I was recently talking about choices and making choices and how important choices are and how like life literally allows you to do whatever the hell you want to do. And so like, with that being said, why wouldn't you invest in yourself? And shout out to Cash Boutique. Shout out to Cash Boutique because that's an investment that I made today. Today, I made an investment into my closet. I walked into her boutique. It felt like nothing but love. She picked out something new from her new collection, the pink collection. So everything on me is available. She's right on Euclid here in Cleveland, Ohio. She also has an online shop, so you can visit her at cashboutique.com and check out her collections. Tell her I sent you, right? But that investment, so it wasn't about showing up on camera and being like, okay, looking the flyest, looking the cutest, looking or any of those things. It was about like, True, what's gonna make you comfortable? What's gonna put you in a space to be comfortable to go out there and really tell people what it is that you want to tell them. And so like everybody heard me talking about the P word and like y'all crazy. Like y'all was saying some crazy stuff. Like some people thought I was talking about some off the wall stuff. Other people thought I was talking about like being patient and things of that nature. But really, I was talking about what this entire podcast is about, what I'm about, what my life legacy will be about. And really that is public health. Like that's really saying like, what's up, mind, body, and soul? What is it that you are putting into your mind? What is it that you are putting into your body? What are you eating? What are you watching? What are you listening to? And how is that affecting how you move and operate in your day-to-day life? Like, how is that helping you get to your goal? I think oftentimes we totally disregard the fact that to meet our goal takes strategy. To meet our goal, it takes moves. Like you got to put time and effort into it. Like we were just sitting here talking and we were talking about how when you are wanting to put content out on social media and you want to get your point across to a person and you can't spend 10, 15 trying to get to the point or get to the message because people don't always listen. You have to master nanosecond messaging. It's fine if you record all of this content, but how are you breaking it up and how are you paying attention to what is out there or what the world need, right? And so like the thing with that for me is what are you putting out things that you want to get back? So for example, financial freedom is one of my goals, right? I want to be able to do whatever the hell I want when I want to do it. If I want to jump on a plane, I want to be able to do it. If I want to feed my kids fruit every day, I want to be able to pay for it without food stamps. If I want to live in a mansion with 10 bedrooms and only use 2 of them, I want to be able to do that and not have a care in the world, right? If I want to go and feed 50,000 people every single year, I want to be able to do that and not have to ask anybody else for the funds to do so. And so in order to get to that space, it takes strategic moves. I have to make sure that everything I'm doing, every decision I'm making, every choice I'm making in this moment is aligning me to meeting that goal. And that's the thing out there. Like, people always ask me, like, all right, you always talking about strategy. You always talking about how you gonna meet this goal, how I'm gonna get there. But like, what's the thing that I need to do? You need to put one foot in front of the other. Like, I think people sit there and wait for answers or wait for people to come out with a cape. It's like, no, if I have a goal, I'm going to first identify what is it that I'm trying to do. All right, now I'm going to jump into, I call this a SWOT analysis. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? Both internally and externally, because sometimes it's the shit in our environment that actually affect us and not just us internally. Now, we do play a big role in it because we get to, again, make choices and decide what we want to do, how we want to do it, and so forth. And so the thing is remembering that I need to make that goal. I need to define what are my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats around me. And then I need to define what do I need to actually accomplish that thing. So for example, like, I want people to hear my shit. Like, I want them to hear me. I want them to hear what I'm saying. I want to get my message across, not because I want people to hear my shit, but I understand that when I walk into the room, I add value. And so I want to share that value with other people. I want somebody to hear my shit and be able to apply it to their life and go and get some real results. Like, for example, I have friends who's like, damn, my credit's here, I want to get it there. So I shared this app called Self. Is an amazing app. So if y'all haven't downloaded it, like, it's a credit builder account. It's like they basically giving you a loan, loaning you your own money, and you paying them whatever you decide. The minimum is like $25 a month, and you're paying them whatever you decide per month. And what they're doing is they're reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. And what they also just added to is now you can add your bank account on there. And so like when I pay my light bill or my gas bill, it's also reporting to my credit builder account as well. So now that's boosting my credit. So long story short, gave that information to a friend. She applied it. Like, she called me a couple months later and she like, yo, I'm like, my credit went up. And so that's the reason why I share the information. That's the reason why I was like, okay, that's why I want people to hear my shit. And so when you are defining your goal, you have to remember not just like why you're doing it for yourself, but like, what do you want people to get out of it? What is the experience you want people to have out of it? Or what imprint do you want to leave on the world? And so circling it all back around, public health and all of this, chasing your goals, strategic planning, being strategic in your moves, all of that simply means is if you want to get somewhere in life, you got to put in work over time to get progress. And so when we do that, we build an economy that is unbreakable. We build an economy that's sustainable. We build an economy that our kids can thrive in. We build an economy that we can thrive in. We build an economy that now when you walk outside and fucking Balenciaga or whatever you into, like, or your graphic t-shirt, like whatever you into, when you walk out, you not worried about, damn, I still got to pay X, Y, and Z bill, or dang, I can't even pay for my kids to go to college or to start that business or whatever it is that they're doing. I think so often, like in our culture, we play catch up or trying to like, match what everything else, match somebody else's life. And we forget that like, no, we have to make real goals. We have to be strategic. We have to do it together. We have to understand how the economy moves. We have to understand what we're promoting. We have to understand what we're taking in. Like, these are things we cannot continue to ignore. And so like, because, and I'm not by far perfect. Like, I'm not by far perfect or there or any of those things. But now understanding like, damn, something as simple as growing my food or planting a seed in the ground, like, can change how much money I make. And so it's like, that's what I'm focused on. Like, how do I meet my goals? How do I meet my financial goals? And then how do I get that message across to other people? And so y'all been rocking with me. And so like, I got some questions that y'all have submitted And I'm going to answer some of those. And like I said, like, thank y'all. Just thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for understanding the message, those of you who get it. And for those of you who don't, thank you for even tuning in and being like, what the hell does she got to say? And yeah, like, this apply to everybody. Like, so before I get to answering y'all questions, I just want y'all to know, like, even though I talk a lot about business and meeting your goals and strategic planning, things of that nature, like, I'm human just like everybody else. And you don't always have to show up like what you're going through. And I think we oftentimes forget that. Like, literally, without even bringing all of my problems to the camera, like, I go through shit too. But you don't have to show up like that. You don't have to make your choices match that. You don't have to make your decisions match that. And I think that that's the thing I want y'all to get out of this podcast, is making sure that y'all know that no matter what you're going through at home, no matter what you're going through in your head, no matter what somebody putting you through, like, you just got to make the choices that's going to align with what you want and what you need and meeting those goals. And that's going to benefit everybody involved. So the first question that somebody submitted was, how do I even identify my goal? Really, like, you have to start with kind of, and I know it sounds cliche, but like, what do you like? What you into? And the reason why I say start there is because what you into is usually like what you're gifted at. And when you figure out what you're gifted at, there's like some type of passion attached to that. And then that thing essentially brings you money, and it's all aligned. And essentially, like, our goals, even though everybody's goal is not like financial success, some people goal is like, I just want a healthy family, or I just want a kid with healthy limbs. And all of that is cool. But either way it goes, like, to have a child with healthy limbs, don't you got to make sure you take care of your body? So again, like, you have to have this piqued interest in whatever it is that you are looking to do. So figure out what you like, figure out what you want, figure out what you desire in your life. And then those things essentially start to align. And that is essentially where your goals come from. Like, what do I want to wake up and have my life be like? Like, for example, I don't like cleaning up. Like, I really don't like cleaning up. I like to pay people to clean up. I don't care if it's to vacuum my floor. I don't care if it's to wash my dishes. That's just my preference. It's something I've learned about myself. I will clean up. I understand that I can't live just nasty and disgusting, but I would rather pay somebody to clean up. So I know that when I got money sitting in my bank account and I make it to the levels that I want to make it to, or a part of my goals is to have someone cleaning up for me. It's not that I need a maid or anything, those things, but I don't want the time that I could spend cleaning up. I could spend building a business. The time that I could spend cleaning up, I could spend with my children. The time that I could spend cleaning up, I can do 1,000,001 other things. And so I just would rather not. So you just have to think about, like, what are your goals? What do you want your life to be like? And that, or I'm telling you how you define your goals, but you get what I'm saying? Figure out what you want your life to be like. And essentially that is going to be how you define your goals. How do I choose a business coach? How to choose a business? Essentially, like, I always start with vibes. Like, how do a person make me feel? Because, like, your business is your baby. Your business is that child that you carry, that idea that you carry, that thing that you nurtured, and so forth. And so you're literally handing it over to somebody and you're entrusting them with it. And so you want to make sure that, one, that they even understand your language. I think another thing, and I actually learned this one from Dame Dash. Like, I did this course with Derek Grace, and he brought Dame Dash in, and he talked about, like, dealing with or only paying people that you can tolerate, or working with people you can tolerate. And so, like, a lot of the time we get, like, especially if you ever done payroll and things, you pay, or even when you hire a contractor, like, you pay people because you're like, okay, I know you can get the job done. I seen your work. I think you're great and all of these things. But energy is more important, because just because I pay you, it doesn't mean that you're going to understand my vision, or you're going to understand how I want my business executed. And so one of those things I always look at is always vibes. How do we connect? Or do you understand my messaging? Another thing when you're looking at a business coach is, like, look at what they've accomplished. Do you have credibility? I just was talking about that. Like, people move or spend their money for 3 reasons. And that thing is literally emotion, credibility, or logic. Like, you moved my emotions. Like, everybody know that pet commercial with the sad music and all of that, like, it moves your emotions. So people instantly start thinking, like, hey, should I send them a penny? Like, should I get him that dollar? So you ultimately moved or get ready to go to your pocketbook because that story moves you. You connect it in some way, shape, or form. The other thing is logic. Like, oh, it makes sense to put my money there. So like people put their money in a bank because they feel like, oh, it makes sense to put my money there. But the bank rob you. Like, I put $10,000 in the bank and I can't go and get that $10,000 directly out. Not without fees, even if I want to get a cashier's check, I have to pay a fee. If I go to the ATM, I have to pay a fee. If I go and ask for my money directly back, like I have to pay a penalty fee for taking my money out early. And so like and then even when it's sitting there, it's like, okay, if I put a check into the account, I had to wait 14 days to even get it back. Why? Because you just moved my money like a million times before you even gave it to me. So with that being said, it's like there's no freedom in those things. And so essentially when you choosing a business coach, you just bringing it all the way back around. When you choosing a business coach, you just always want to remember that what have you accomplished? Logic is a big thing behind that. And then I threw myself off. That was that third thing. I didn't give y'all the third one. So I gave y'all logic. And then that last thing is, are you credible? Like, have you ever done that shit before? And can you prove that you've done it and that it actually worked? Like people tell you to show you those insights. Like when you want to do promo on a person's page and they be like, well, can I see your insights? Like essentially that, are you credible? Like, have you done that shit before and did you get results? Boom. All right. Last question that I'm going to throw out there. What are tools you use to keep your people and paperwork organized? Do not be like me. I'm not as organized as I should be. But truthfully, when I am being organized as I should be, I use things like Asana. I love Asana because it's something that I can do team sharing with. So I usually, when I'm working on a project, I'm working with multiple people. So most of the time, I'm either doing things like community engagement or event planning or whatever the case may be. And so I have to share messaging or share different departments or share different parts of the project with different people. And Asana work well for that because they can upload photos in there. You can upload audio in there. You can just take a picture of something and it takes down all of the text. You can share to-do lists and different tasks in different areas. And so that really that benefits me. And then my favorite go-to, like if I pull it up, and I tell people this all the time, like if I ever die, pull out my Google Docs. My go-to is Google Docs because you got Google Docs, you got Google Sheets, you got Google Slideshows, and there's everything you can do in there and you can share it with other people. So right now, a lot of the things that I be big on is collaboration. And so like I look for things, especially when it comes to organizing, I look for things that I can easily share with other people and we can project share or share the information or bounce things off of each other. So Asana would definitely be that go-to, and then Google Docs will also be that other thing because it keeps me organized. So troops, I've been talking for a while. I done answered some of y'all questions. Like I said before, I thank y'all for rocking with me, how y'all be rocking with me. I hope y'all understand like that we in this forever. I'm not going anywhere and neither are y'all. Like consistency is key. We have to stay consistent in this process and in this journey. So like while I'm dedicating myself to my journey and my goals, I want you to dedicate yourself to do the same thing, whatever them goals may be. Like you might want to be the best stripper that you can be. You might want to be the best fucking drug dealer that you want to be. You might want to be the biggest boss you can be. You might want to be a conglomerate, whatever your goals are. And I hope you ain't out there just wanting to be the biggest drug dealer and all of that. Like, come on, we gotta kind of like switch lanes a little bit. But my whole point is whatever your goals are, I hope you really setting them. You really like writing out what are my call to actions? What do I need to do in order to accomplish this goal? And like, don't get caught up on the small shit. Make sure you really silencing the noise and really like, okay, I'm tunnel vision. I'm focused on what it is that I need to get done so that you can actually accomplish those goals. Because if we don't accomplish those goals, we're going to be looking back 5 years, 2 years, 6 months. Like, damn, I could have did X, Y, and Z, but I wasn't focused. So don't waste another second of your time. Truths, make sure you stay connected, like, comment, subscribe, all of those great things. Stay tuned to a Truebies guide. And I'm excited to be rocking out with y'all. Thank you to my amazing producer, Watts, behind the camera over here. Thank you to Cash Boutique again, who like got me all the way together. Make sure y'all, like I said, stay tuned so y'all can see all of the pieces that she put inside of my bag. Make sure y'all go over there to her Instagram and follow her at Cash Boutique. And thank y'all for rocking with me. And until next time, troops. I drew a blank. I always draw a blank when I'm talking.